My name is Layla.
And my name is Adam.
And today we have a special guest with us. He's an author of our favorite series, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We're glad you're here too. We're going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
First of all, how long did it take you to write the first book?
Yeah, it took about 4 years and 2,500 hours.
Whoa! That's a lot of time and a lot of commitment. Years, I would be fine with maybe a few weeks, months, but years? Do you think you could do that, Adam?
Nope.
Book 2 took me about 5 years and 3,000 hours. So
3,000 hours? Wow, that is crazy. Okay, our second question. What inspired you to write this story? Is there any truth to it?
Yeah, no, great question. I think I wanted to write something fun and exciting, and there's a great quote by Beverly Clearly, and she said, she's the writer or author of The Mouse and the Motorcycle, Runaway Ralph. You guys are familiar with that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said if you ever go into a library or a bookstore and you don't see the story you're looking for, write it. And I had lived in England off and on for about 2 years. I was a British literature major and a European history major. So I was really writing about a country that I loved and a place that I loved, and I was just having a lot of fun. And what I think is great about Britfield is that it's all based in reality. Everything that happens to them, they've got to deal with, as you're aware of, from reading book 1. So,
how many have you just written other books, or is it just the series that you have written?
Yeah, I started writing when I was about 18 years old, and I was writing actually movie scripts, which is very different. It's more like a page. So if you're going to watch a 90-minute movie, you would write a 90-page script, meaning every page equals 1 minute. And so it's very stringent as a writer, but it's great because I learned the technique and the structures. So when I took off on this fictional series, I had all that background to write the story. And I think many people that have read it say that it reads like a movie, and I think that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
I totally agree. Right, Adam? Yep. It's like, once I was talking to my mom about it, and then I'm like, hey, Mama, when can I get back to the movie? I actually called it a movie.
That's funny. I love it.
How many books will be in the series? Because I know you're writing some more books.
Yeah, it'll be a 7-book series. So book 1, Britfield the Lost Crown, takes place in England, and it's 384 pages. Book 2, which we're launching on July 4th, you actually have a pre-copy, which is lucky you. But this is launching. This is book 2, Britfield and the Rise of the Lion, takes place in France. It's 474 pages. That's launched July 4th.
Yeah.
And then in book 3, it's in Italy. It's Britfield and the Return of the Prince. That's launched next year about this time. How exciting is that?
Oh, wow. Okay, mark your calendars, everybody.
And then book 4 will be in Eastern Europe, Russia. Book 5 is in Asia and China. Book 6 is in South America. And then book 7, we come back to the United States. And so in every book, Tom and Sarah will get 1 year older. So in book 1, they're 12. In book 2, they're 13. Book 3, they're 14. And I'm actually almost done with the first draft of book 3 right now. I started it last May, and I've been writing, and I'm almost done. It's going to be about 550 pages. It's like big.
Wow. So it's like a world tour.
It is. It is. It's exactly it. Exactly. Yeah.
What is a typical day for you as an author? How is the life? Is it like writing every day? Do you take breaks? What is it like?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's interesting as we're starting to rev up and get into a lot more books, and now I'm sort of under more pressure because I don't want to, I don't have 3 or 5 years to write the book. But with that said, I'm a much more skilled writer, and I'm faster, and I've learned to outline and structure the story first a lot better. So what that means is I start at the very beginning, and really just with bullet points, I start to write all the scenes. How do I want this entire book to look like? And then I might write a paragraph here and there, but I'm really outlining. It's like a architectural plans for your story. Yeah, for a 2-month journey. And then so I've worked it all out, and I know where everything goes. And so when I come back, I'm ready. I take a break, and then I come back, and then I start to write it. So yeah, I'm usually up about 5:30 or 6. I'm a morning person. I try to write Tuesday through Thursdays 7 to 10. And then I have the entire I have the entire week. We've been doing our virtual author visit, which is great. And real quick, what we kicked off 2 years ago, because we came to your school, was the Britfield author visit, or the national tour.
My class
I ended up driving 9,000 miles, 23 states, 180 schools, and almost 40,000 students. So
9,000 miles.
9,000, 9,000.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I would do that. I don't know. Most of the things you're telling me, I wouldn't even be able to do that. And I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think Adam would be able to do it.
Not yet. Hello? You will. But yeah, so I was in Memphis, Tennessee last March when this whole thing had happened, and so I drove back, and then since then we've been doing the virtual tours. But so usually I have about 2 or 3 of those a week also, which is fun, and it's schools from all over the world, nation. I'm sorry, like Florida, Georgia, Indiana. I just did one in Oregon. We did one in Colorado. So it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's a lot easier on me, but it's great. It's just like this. I sit down about 10 minutes before. I flip it on, and then I'm suddenly in a classroom or in an auditorium in Florida or Michigan or Ohio. And so that's been a lot of fun. We actually booked our first school in England for the fall.
Oh, wow. That's very cool.
Yeah. And it's an hour and a half from Weatherly Orphanage.
Wait, is your description of the orphanage, now that we're talking about it, was so good. I just felt so bad for those kids. I felt so happy for myself. Is this based on a true story? That part?
The story is fiction. The history is real, and all the locations are real. So
I was not expecting that either. Yeah. So why did you choose to be an author out of all the jobs in the world? Did you just know you were going to be an author when you were a kid?
I didn't. I discovered writing when I was probably 12, about your age, because I was given an assignment. I was given an assignment in a classroom to write a book. That was our assignment, to write a book, but not a book, maybe like 20, 30 pages. But at your age, it's like, that's a lot. I mean, crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I wrote this really fun James Bond type of book because I loved the James Bond movies. And I myself was the star. I was a 12-year-old secret agent for the British government, and I was on this chase after this villain throughout Europe. And so I just had I had so much fun, and so much of us, especially as children, you don't realize what you can do or what's inside you until you're given the opportunity to do it. And I created this really fun story. And so I think it stuck with me. And then when I was 18 years old, I started to write movie scripts, but I was an investment banker. I was an architect. I ran a big development company. So I've done a lot of different. I was in business management, strategy, things like that. But I think with I'm now a full-time author, and I love it. I love storytelling. I think it's fun to create something from nothing. I think it's fun to create stories. It's like anything else. It takes a lot of hard work and discipline, and as you well know, with the hours. And it's the same thing. If you want to be good at a sport, maybe you play the piano or a musical instrument or a sport. If you only go out 1 hour a week, how good are you going to get? If you're going out 5 hours a week, if you really like it, you're going to spend as much time with it. And so it's no different, whatever profession or passion people are pursuing. But I didn't think I'd be an author. I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be a full-time author.
Why in your books are there different settings everywhere? Why is it around the world? Is it based on something you like?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's what's kind of fun about my books, and which makes me sort of unique. That's my style. Number one, I think it's a lot of fun to come into these different countries because you, as a reader, I'm sharing with you some of these wonderful places, and these are all places that I have been and places that I have visited, and so it's my way. Yeah, so it's my way of taking you in to this beautiful world, and I'm sharing all these great places. And number two, I think it's interesting as an author, as you're continuing a series, is that it doesn't kind of keep coming back to the same place. Yeah, what happens is the location becomes another character, right? England now is the character in book one. Yeah, France is like the character in number two. And I think it also keeps the reader, a little off balance, meaning you don't have that comfort of coming back to the home or the school. with Tom and Sarah, as you well know, it's like the second they leave or escape from whether the orphanage, they're on the run, and they're never at the same place for more than one night. And so it keeps a natural intensity because you don't know what's going to happen next. And you kind of feel it. Yeah, you feel the strain of it. Yeah.
I feel like I'm running with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Are Tom and Sarah based on people you know or heard about or read about, or are they just also from your imagination? Because now that the orphanage was kind of true.
Yeah, but no, the characters, most of the time I try to base the characters on people that I know. Sarah's actually based on someone I know. Yeah, she actually, the book is dedicated to her, book 1.
Really? Wow, that's so cool. I had no idea.
If you look at the dedication, it's, at the beginning of the book, it says, this book is dedicated to Sarah Jane Fellows. So.
Oh, wow. Wait, let me check that.
Gowerstone is based on a couple of fictional characters. I love the Sherlock Holmes. So he's based a little bit on Sherlock Holmes. He's based a little bit on James Bond. The professor is based on Professor Hainsworth is based on a couple of professors that I had for my undergraduate. Speckle, right? The mean Speckles.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I had no idea he would be in. Oh wait, wait.
Yeah, can't give it away. But he was actually based on an actor that if I were to show you his picture, you would be familiar. And so every time I was writing Speckle, I envisioned this actor, and that helped me write the character because the guy's really gruff and mean and kind of just kind of speaks like that and get out of there. You just kind of and so it was very easy. And then book 2 is a lot of fun. As you're seeing, I bring back some of the characters from book 2, but I introduce new characters, which is fun.
Yes.
And you're right around the Eiffel Tower, which is just a really great, exciting scene and pivoting point in the story, and you'll meet some more characters.
Perfect, because most of the readers would know that that's the Eiffel Tower, and then they'd be more connected to the book, and that's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, you can see that with behind me the movie poster size of book 2.
Oh my God. I do not want to be climbing an Eiffel Tower.
I don't recommend it. Yeah, so.
Oh boy. I really hope you were not thinking of that. Uh-oh.
What was your favorite scene in book 1 in Britfield Lost Crown?
My favorite scene. Oh my gosh. That's a hard one. There were so many good scenes. I think one of my favorite scenes was when they're escaping the castle.
Windsor?
Was after them because it was like very big and everyone after that. It was like a very big scene, and it was towards the middle of the book or towards the end.
Exactly.
So it was very exciting. But that was one of my favorite parts. I have a lot of favorite parts.
I had so much fun writing it, and I think I love the difference in a couple days before they're in this horrible orphanage, and then 2 days later that's a magnificent.
I know,
castle.
right?
And so it's just fun. It's fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so unexpected. But I didn't expect some parts. There were some unexpected twists and turns and possibly some betrayals that I was not thinking about. And then I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and then, it was a lot of fun. And then in book 2, you're just getting into that, but that'll be a lot of fun. Who's your favorite character in the Britfield so far?
I was afraid you were going to ask me that question because I don't know.
Okay.
I am very bad at deciding things and deciding my favorite things. So,
okay.
Well, of course, the main characters I really like, Tom and Sarah.
Yeah.
I also, of course, love their friends because they're helping them.
Yes.
So I don't really have a favorite character.
I mean, of course, like normally for girls, they love Sarah and the guys like Tom, but I've actually had, students your age that they loved Hainsworth because he was this kind of wonderful.
I know, he was so nice. Yeah. When Sarah, okay, let me not give these away.
Yeah.
So hard not to give them away. That's why everybody here watching should start reading the book before I give it all away.
Yeah. And then this is a 7-book series. They'll be followed by 7 movies. So we're actually going to be
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
They're going to be movies. Oh my goodness. When?
We'll be in development this summer, and then hopefully pre-production for the first Britfield movie in either fall or spring.
Is it going to be a theater? Is it going to be like in a DVD? Can you find it?
No. It'll be globally launched. So yeah, it's a story for everybody, every demographic. It's not just America or England. It's India.
It's around the world.
It is, and everyone can relate to it, and everyone. It's really based on family, friendship, loyalty, and courage. Our youngest reader's been 7. Our oldest reader's been 93 years old.
Wow.
And we're actually one of the most. Britfield the Lost Crown is now one of the most awarded books in children's fiction. There's also an audio version, Adam.
There's an audio version?
Yeah. So do you want to go to England at some point? Do you want to visit some of these places?
Yes. After what I heard of them, definitely like math. You can actually plan your next trip with Britfield because most of it is not just out of your fantasy, and it has what's there today, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's what we hope. We hope at some point in the future that there will be Britfield tour.
Thank you so much for talking about this and talking about your life and the journey to make these books and telling us about the future, giving us these previews. It was great talking to you, right, Adam? Yeah.
All right, you guys. I love what you're doing. I think it's absolutely awesome and amazing. And I thought about it this morning, and I'm like, I mean, you were on to such a great start. I'll be interested to see where you are in 10 years if you're a movie actress, or if you're on some national news station, or what. But I think what you're doing is really, really awesome. Really,
maybe
really
I'll be an author.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping to encourage. Now, I'm hoping to encourage not just children to read, but to enjoy creativity and writing. And we're actually doing a writing workshop this June, which is fun. And so we have people from all over the nation, students and adults that will be taking it. And we go through the whole thing from, where do you start from a story to the structure, to developing the characters, to the final edit, and even getting it published. And so there's a lot involved, but it's fun. It's very encouraging. And so, well, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.